Century BC to the 5th century AD, Roman. This was the birthplace of Seneca and Lucian. Many people from Italy think that Seneca, the philosopher, was born in Italy. He was born in the Roman Empire, but here in Cordoba.
Who was it?
Seneca, the philosopher.
The Roman
Stoicism was his school of thought. The family of Emperor Marcus Aurelius came from a tiny village here nearby to Cordoba. And two Roman emperors, the greatest Roman emperors after Augustus, Trajan and Hadrian, you know the Trajan column.
Yeah.
Trajanus and Hadrianus.
From Andalusia, very close to Seville. So, southern Spain was a very important Roman center for 7 centuries. Afterwards came the Barbar invasion. After the fall of the Roman Empire, roughly 2 centuries. It was a period characterized by constant internal uprisings and revolts. That period came to an end in 711, when Spain, the Iberian Peninsula, was conquered by the Muslims. However, more than a conquest, it was a surrender on the part of the city through a pact. No bloodshed. The Muslims promised to respect the life and religion of the inhabitants, and only took up arms against a group of knights who had retreated to a fortified church beyond the city walls. This was Muslim for 5 centuries. So Roman 7, Visigothic roughly 2, and Muslim, Cordoba 5 centuries, becoming the most important city in Europe. This was the New York of the time. The most important city in Europe, a beacon of culture, prestigious universities, magnificent libraries, important buildings such as the mosque, the Masjid of Cordoba, or the city palace of Medina al-Zahra. It's called the Versailles in the Middle Ages. This splendor came to an end. Well, this splendor took place with the Banu Umayyad, the Umayyad dynasty. Coming from Syria. From Syria, they governed the entire Muslim caliphate, from Pakistan to Spain. Huge territory. There was a civil war in the Middle East. All of them were massacred and killed, all of the Umayyads, except for one. Only one who managed to escape the massacre. And I'll go deeper into this one story. Inside, in the first part of the mosque, of the Masjid, Muslim splendor came to an end 1,000 years ago because of a civil war between Muslims. Christians in the north, must tell you, from here was governed 80% of the Iberian Peninsula, and only the northernmost strip of the Iberian Peninsula was controlled by the Christians. But after this civil war between Muslims, they were not united, and the Christians in the north rubbed their hands, and they started the conquest of the Iberian Peninsula. Cordoba was conquered in the 13th century. The mosque was converted into a Christian cathedral. What used to be the mosque, the entire building was a mosque, but from the 15th century onwards, it became a cathedral. This is the courtyard out there, and we are here. This limit corresponds to the cordon, to the red cordon. The eastern limit corresponds to the place where the floor changes color from white to olive. The fact that Christians and Muslims were inside the church, praying side by side. Was it true that the historical text of the period called shared? Or we have idealized the shared use of St. Vincent? Towards the end of his life, he realized that he had never carried out a religious act. Ever since he got to the Iberian Peninsula, he was occupied, busy in the creation of a new independent Muslim state in the Iberian Peninsula, the Cordoban Emirates. And here, towards the end of his life, he decided to build a mosque. In 10 months. 10 months.
Dus op de...
This wall was perforated to make room for the new enlargement with the new wall, with the new pillar wall. Parallel naves perpendicular to the Qibla wall at the back, double arches, same aqueducts, and up there, same sort of story.
Een mandelboom en de bedoeling was, het gebouw staat in de bergen waar het eventueel kan sneeuwen, dat hij altijd zou herinnerd worden aan zijn concubine die hij de roos noemde, de flower.
It was a very important place in the history of the cathedral. Why? Really? Because it was precisely here that the first man which consecrated a mosque as a Christian temple was held on
The kathedraal.
you know why? After the Christian conquest of Cordoba, they were running short of money. And this was a low-cost investment, taking advantage of this Arab dome, which brought light into the Christian rituals, enhancing the ceremony. This was very good. June.
En mei juni ging de processie uit en dit was het pronkstukje.
In Catholicism, a monstrance is made to contain the consecrated host during the processions. The lower part was added to give it more height in the 18th century. The rest, however, was built in the 16th century by a German silversmith. This is silver.
Gemaakt door een Duitse zilver.
Christ becomes the body of Christ. Then afterwards you can see inside the Assumption, the Virgin of the Assumption, and the crowning figure is the resurrected Christ, once again.
Dus,
This man is statue of the the word actually affected the royal chapel. In this case,